Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Falcon Falls. So this is episode 22, I believe. And today, right now we're looking at the harbor we built in the last episode. Really happy with this. I think it was my best build on the map. I think so, at least. Give me your opinion in the comments. But anyway, so this episode is going to be a break from everything related to buildings, even. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be building our farming area, and we're going to be actually making the national park. I've been putting the national park off for like a really long time, and I don't want to do it any longer. I just have to get it done. Like, it's just bugging me like crazy. So yeah, I've decided to actually do it, and this is actually half the map we filled in this episode, and now, we just have the baseline for what this map is based around, the falls, and you might have seen screenshots on Twitter, the thumbnail, and you'll see cinematics and stuff later, and wow, just the falls just look absolutely incredible. I didn't really realize I'd be able to make them even this nice. My frame rate's terrible because of the trees and rocks I'm using. I placed tons and tons of rocks, as you can see, just copying and pasting them and stuff. But I think it's just worth it. I just want this area of the map to look really nice. And I'm fine with being at 20 FPS, because I'm not going to be here too often, and the actual LOD tries for Mr. Mason's trees are really low, so from afar, his trees look terrible, but, from, like, close up, they look amazing. But from afar, like, since they don't have high tries, they don't really affect your frame rate too much, so, yeah, I don't know. It's good. And this national park, I'm just so happy with. It just turned out great. Used a huge combination of trees and stuff. I didn't actually detail too much. I placed some paths, and there are a few national roads going through it, and there's like a covered bridge, which is what we're placing right now. But I didn't detail it too much, because I didn't really want to. Like, I'm not going to be here on this part of the map very often, and like, I feel like even just placing tents in just random spots in the woods, like, I'm never going to see them. Like, I did do 2 campsites that are sort of on different sides of the national park, which are sort of a little bit bigger. I don't know. But the national park and the farms that we're working on this episode, I feel like they're sort of a bonus, because normally I wouldn't be able to do anything like this on like an 81, or, because this is 81 tiles, so say normally it'd be 25 tiles. I wouldn't be able to do anything close to this if I wanted to have such a big city, like I have right now. So I just think of this as sort of a bonus, just to make this part of the map look really nice. And the falls are sort of central to the series as well, so I just wanted to make it look nice and whatever. But the farms actually turned out great as well. I sort of took a little bit of inspiration from Strict's farms, and then a lot of different stuff though. I just used some farm decals. I placed those off camera, but that means like when you're close up, you actually see them. They're really detailed and sort of bright. From above, the farms aren't very obnoxious to look at, so you'll see those when the time comes and stuff. But like, for now, this area we're working on right now is just a little lookout point, just over the city, and I don't know. I wasn't sure what to do, and I probably, like, you'd probably see something a little bit more substantial in terms of infrastructure for, a national park like this. But I think it's sort of fine just having, a little lookout point here, and I think that's good enough. And there's, like, another, like, a hotel on the other side of the park, and that will place in just a moment. And I just did that just because, why not? I think it's cool. The asset I've been meaning to use forever. It's the only place I could use it. And I went through, and these national roads are elevated pretty much everywhere. That's like on a hill. So I think just elevated models for national roads look really nice. So decided to do that. And I mainly used the live oak trees, but then I used the mountain ash trees and then some fall trees and stuff. Just a weird combination. And I also use conifers, of course. Just pretty much all Mr. Mason, though. And, some of those other pine trees that I used to use, which I don't really use anymore. But, yeah. Yeah, right here we're placing the hotel that I was talking about. I really like this model. and I just figured just like a little bit of lodging would be cool. And the thing is, it also, since it provides like 80 households, I get actual traffic going through the national park and like people actually going to the parks that I have placed. I haven't placed PPGs, but I've placed some parking lots and stuff towards the lookout point. And yeah, so we actually get traffic going there, and it's actually a pretty substantial amount, which is pretty awesome. So I didn't detail it too much because, once again, I don't want to go crazy here. I just want to let the graphic mods do the work for me when it comes to these edges of the map. Because once again, I just think of them as sort of bonuses, to be honest. And like the farms, it's not like I didn't add anything. Like I placed some fences and trees and stuff, and some farmhouses and barns. But you know, you'll see that when the time comes. But anyway, just placing some rocks and grasses on the shoreline here, and just adding some foliage and trying to see if I could get a natural look for that road near the hotel, that gravel road. We come back to that a little later, but for now, just adding some rocks and stuff, just some surface rocks. The surface rocks do a lot of work, you know, and just a few, you know, assets, which is really always just great. So I don't know, just been using those a ton for shorelines, just combined with grasses and some of those smaller rocks, as I said. So yeah, it's been good. But anyway, you see I'm like just adding some trees with the tree brush around these national roads. I really like these national roads, just the way they look, like with the actual curves that I added. Just went for some really clean and natural angles, and I don't know. And yeah, I'm really happy with the texture from my Roads United pack, which is, you know, the texture is made by, you know, Unlawful Enemy Combatant, but I sort of edited it so it went tile and stuff, and I don't know, it just looks great. So I'm really happy with how that all looks. And anyway, so just adding another little lookout point, or I guess this is just where the end of this little trail is. Just added like some fences here, and I don't know, just figured I'd do that just so you could hike down here and just have a look at the river, and I don't know, I like that. Just the 4K theme as well just does so much work. I mean, without the 4K theme, this would look so much worse, this whole thing, and I don't know. So yeah, just adding some fences like up here by the path, just so nobody falls off the cliff. Probably a good idea. And I used some of these flowers, which are like an actual prop, which they look really nice, and I think I'm going to be using those a lot more in the future. Try not to use too many because, you know, props, and you know, you can't really alter the prop limit. And I mean, so with my props, I've placed almost 30,000 already, and the limit's like 70,000, or actually really like more like 60,000. Like Taser has been hitting that recently, and it's apparently more like 60,000, even though it says it's like 65, but it's pretty annoying. But so I've placed like half of the props that I can, so I gotta be sort of wary about the props that I'm placing, but I feel like it shouldn't be too much of a problem, because what I'm going to be doing moving forward, like the places where I'm going to be using the most props are going to be like the harbor and the airport, and then like I've got an idea for a community college type of thing, a really awesome asset I want to use, which will be its sort of own episode, and we'll do some expansion around there, and that'll be just in the future. Trying to get this series done as soon as possible, not meaning like rushing it, but like my FPS, you may have seen some tweets and stuff, or Strict mentioned it in his live stream or whatever, and yeah, I'm getting like 5 frames a lot of the time on max settings, moving around my city, just 5 frames. So yeah, it's and I mean not max settings, with like putting my level of detail down to like medium, I get like 7. So yeah, I also can't add anything to my workshop collection anymore. For some reason, like I was able to add way past the amount that I've got right now, like hundreds more, and then I removed a bunch, yet I still can't add any, but I was 100, or you know, like 300 up from where I am right now in the amount in there. It makes no sense, but I don't think it matters too much, in the sense that I don't know if I'm going to even be releasing this save as, you know, like a save game, like in the workshop, or at least the full thing. Maybe I'll just do a road layout type thing, but my frames are just so bad. I don't think that really anybody will be able to run it or want to. So yeah, I don't know, just a sort of a shift of plans. I was planning on, you know, putting it in the workshop. I don't know if I'll be able to, and we'll just have to see when the time comes, but times are looking bleak, especially for my collection. I have no idea why it's just so messed up. Like, you know, Taser was telling me that he's got the same issue, like he's able to add stuff to smaller collections, but not to his main collection, which is, I don't know, really, really annoying. I hope that that'll get fixed, or maybe it's permanent, hopefully not, but yeah. So just adding a little area at the end of that road there, I decided to just end it off with a little building like these. I don't know what this is actually called, this prop, but it's a really nice prop. I've been using it for just little service buildings at the end of roads and stuff. And like right here, we are gonna copy paste the campsite we made a little bit before, and just place that over here with move it. And I decided to do that just as a second campsite. I didn't really feel like it was even worth it making another one here. I just copy pasted it. So yeah, just adding some trails, and yeah, I didn't add too many trails, but they're enough. So, you know, from above you see them, and it's pretty cool. In a moment, we're going to move on to a little bit more shoreline detailing from actually the bottom of the falls. You know, that area down there that's, I don't know, it's a little bit weird, but it's sort of enclosed by two hilly areas, so, you know, I needed to detail this as well, so just did sort of the same thing, placed a lot of rocks and foliage, Mr. Mason, the whole way, really. And yeah, I used these lantanas sort of at the edge of the water, like the way edge, like right below the grasses, and they look really, really good. Like, I don't know, I think they're cool. Yeah, just placing some more grasses here, and just those rock clusters are really nice for the way shoreline, because they don't actually mess up the water flow like with their hitbox. So you can actually just place them right at the shoreline, and it's nice. Like, I placed the surface rocks a little bit more inland, and then these smaller rocks close to the shoreline, and I think it works pretty well. But yeah, in a moment, we're just gonna be moving on from the whole national park, which is pretty much finished at this point. I add some stuff off camera, like I didn't really include everything, as per usual. I mean, I just do so much that putting it all on camera would mean these videos would be like an hour long each, which I know some of you'd like, but, you know, whatever. So we're moving on to the farming area, just doing a little terraforming, just adding some hills around the edge, and I ran into this glitch where on the edge of the map, just sometimes little clusters of trees would just start lagging me like crazy, and it made no sense. I'm still having the issue where just, so I'm trying to like remove a lot of the trees that are on the outskirts of the map, but like my game will be moving really slow, and I'll just, you know, get rid of some of the trees that are on the edge of the map where they're lagging me, and it's fine, and it's not like they duplicate or anything, at least from what I can notice. It's really weird. But yeah, anyway, so just placing some of these gravel roads and just trying to map out where I want each farm to be, and I ended up going for some different shapes, not just, you know, squares and stuff, and also just making a little wind farm here, because why not? I just wanted to do it. I think it'd look really cool. Like, there's really nowhere else I could do it, and I didn't take too long, but I destroyed my FPS by copy pasting all those grasses. I shouldn't have done it, but I had to. See, the thing is, since my FPS is so low, it's pretty much impossible for it to get any lower, so I couldn't care less. I'm just adding as much stuff as I can, really. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just letting the detail of the assets do the work for me, because my FPS is already too low to really be worried about it. So yeah, anyway, just going around placing some different buildings, like there's that farm park, and yeah, just a few other things that are by Core 79, I believe, which are really just nice pre-detailed little things. And I have that pole barn, which is cool, and yeah, just adding just little things and stables, and it's good. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that I didn't put on camera was like placing these trees because it's sort of robotic. And then these wheat fields that are like the really green, like I end up getting rid of those because they're a little bit like, I guess bulky would be the word for it. Not really, nowhere close, but you get what I mean. Like these wheat fields are individual trees that are large and circular, so it's hard to do the corners and stuff, and they lag you like crazy because you have to overlap them a lot so they don't look really weird. And I mean, for a small farm they'd probably be okay, but I decided to just go for natural resource textures and, you know, some of these smaller trees which look really nice for like a little fruit tree. And then I added, as I said earlier in the episode, I end up adding off camera some farm decals, which you'll see in the cinematics, I think, maybe, I don't know. Some of the cinematics messed up, and I didn't include them because for some reason my recording software switched codecs randomly, and it made no sense, and I lost a bunch of footage for a future episode, which is actually like 3 episodes ahead. I'm pretty far ahead in recordings. I haven't had too much time to work on videos, but I've had some time to actually get some progress done in-game, so I'm actually a few episodes ahead, and spoiler alert, we've finished everything near downtown, and it's good. So yeah, you'll see that in the coming weeks. Just trying to get ahead and stuff and get this whole project done. Anyway, so I think we're gonna leave you with some music for a few minutes, and I think that should be good. And we'll hop into the live gameplay after that and look around. We've got a lot to look at, and yeah, so that's coming. But for now, here's a little bit of music, and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, I'm ready to show you what we've built. I mean, not really built, but just, you know, terraformed and stuff. I mean, yeah, this national park is ginormous, and this farm area too. So, anyway, starting off, let's just look at the waterfall. So, I've been meaning to do this forever. I haven't actually detailed, like, a lot of this over here. I'll get to that in the next few episodes, but for now, like, I mean, this waterfall I really like. Like, it was weird trying to get the rocks to be okay here. The water glitching out like that looks okay from, like, a distance. So I'm okay with that. And I like how, I separated this, and I think it looks nice. And just the lighting here is just beautiful. And the normal map for the water from the 4K theme is incredible. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And my frame rate is 15 FPS looking here, because, yeah, I just pretty much went for the highest triangle count stuff I possibly could. Well, I mean, I wanted to make this really nice and look good while you're here, but, from afar, like say from afar, like right here, like the trees, I'm looking over here, I'm getting like, 30 FPS. It's not too terrible, because the triangles on the LODs are pretty low for live oaks, which is actually really nice because you can use them a lot in far off areas, and I don't know. I think it's cool. But anyway, so we've got this little lookout point here, which I think is cool. And I mean, I just did this little hangout place, I guess. Usually, I guess you'd probably have more stuff like this in the national park. Like, I didn't go crazy with trails either, as you may have noticed. Like, there's just one right around here, and then there are some, like, here. And I don't know. It's not too bad, though. And then over here, we've got a bunch of trails and stuff. I guess we could look over here. So this area, this is what this side of the mountain looks like now, and I think it looks really nice. Like, I mean, I think it looks great. So I'm happy with that. But over here, the national road sort of ends, and then we've got this little, this is supposed to be like an engine shed, but I put this here as like a little warehouse of some sort. I think it's cool. And then I used these props to make that, and it looks really overgrown and stuff. There's some trails, and this is the camping ground from the other side of the national park, just copy and pasted over here. And I think it's, like, I wasn't sure how to do the campgrounds, because I don't want to just place tents like in little small campgrounds, because you're not going to see them at all. So I decided to just do 2 campgrounds that are like, like this. Yeah, so these national roads just come down here, and this you didn't see in the time lapse, I don't think, but I'll show you that. Well, let's just start over at this end of the farming area. So yeah, like, this was just a confusing thing. Like, I decided to just leave some of these empty, and then have some of them look like really dried up and stuff, and others, like, I have like trees, like fruit trees or whatever it may be, and then just trees like this. I think it's cool. And, like, once again, I'm not going into much detail here because I just don't feel like it's worth it. Like, it's not like I'm just leaving it, empty. I just want it to look cool from above, and then just really nice, like, in a view like this, when you zoom in, which I think is cool. This highway I actually added, and then it actually ends, all the way over here. This is, like, our first episode's town, which needs to be greatly refurbished, as you can see, because somehow these built themselves here. Let's just see if we can get rid of these. There we go. We're gonna have to go back in here and do a lot of refurbishing. What is that? Okay, whatever. Yeah, we're gonna have to refurbish this, and I mean, over here, I don't really want to do too much. Like, I'm thinking of doing like a prison right over, like right here, which I think could be a cool idea, and maybe level it out, and do a prison, because we don't have a prison in this whole city, and there's nowhere else to put it, so I figure I can put it right here. I think that'd be cool, and just have it like really open around it, and that could be its own episode, and then around that, like, this is in shambles here, but this I want to do like a much more realistic logging industry type thing that maybe extends like even across like these rails and stuff. This, yeah, you may see this disappears when you zoom out, but I decided to put some farm decals here, just so it'd look really cool in some areas when you zoom in and take screenshots and stuff. And I think it looks nice. Like, these decals are beautiful. I especially love, what is it? This one. This one looks amazing, just with all the natural colors and stuff. But this whole area I really like. The shady trees look really good for a crop type of tree, and I don't know. I think this whole area is great. Go into this mode, and yeah, I connected these gravel roads to the highways directly, which I think is what you'd see around a place like this, like really rural. I mean, maybe it'd be less of that, but I think it's sort of fine. Like my frame rate around here is terrible. Also, we've got this wind farm here, which I decided to give myself terrible FPS for no reason by placing a ton of tall grass. And I should not have done it, but whatever. I couldn't care less. I mean, I'm just trying to get the series done as fast as possible. Actually, like I'm not like trying to rush anything, but my frame rate is absolutely terrible. Like I'm getting 40 frames right here, but you know, in other places, like when I'm in my main city, like say I go right here, I'm getting 5 frames right here. It's terrible. Anyway, I just think from above this whole area looks awesome. I guess we could look at this rural road right here. I didn't really detail much. These are these rural buildings. Like this is the rural cargo yard, propane storage. You should look those up. They're really cool. Anyway, so these roads here, I mean, these are just national roads, and then this is just a street, just so that I could place buildings here. And I think it looks nice. Like, just went for something really remote, I guess. And I had this spawn power lines as well, which I think is cool. Well, they don't have lines, but it's the utility poles, which look good enough. I'm not going to place, like, so many of those that, I don't know, can't be bothered. But, yeah, like, this is, I haven't actually, you know, dealt with this area here, which I think I'm just going to fill it up with trees and maybe some rural neighborhoods or whatever. I just want to focus most of my rural neighborhoods like over here. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it off there. It's time to end the video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like. It really does help the video more than you'd think. Subscribe if you're new around here so you get notified when I upload. And for further notifications, I definitely recommend you hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you'll never miss an upload. Join the notification squad for next video. And yeah, follow me on Twitter if you want to see teasers and stuff. I've been posting a ton of screenshots there, so definitely want to follow me there. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.